Welcome back to Informed Sources. Big economic developments are happening in the Magnolia State, from record low unemployment to new data centers offering more job opportunities, and most recently the ongoing effort to eliminate the state income tax. This year, Mississippi reached a record low unemployment rate of 2.8%. Compare that to the national unemployment rate, which is at 4%. Encouraging news, but oddly the state's labor force participation rate is the lowest in the nation. However, will there be more opportunity to work? More good jobs are coming to Mississippi with 2 Amazon hyperscale data centers in the works. At least 1,000 people will be employed at the 2 locations, which will be built in Madison County. It's all part of a multi-million-dollar effort between the state and Amazon. Governor Reeves says the state is building a business climate that's ripe for future growth, especially in the technology sector. And Governor Delbert Hosemann is spearheading a study group to lower the tax burden for the state. It's a hot topic and part of the effort to eliminate the state income tax. So, Governor, let's start there. How are those efforts to eliminate the state income tax going?
Well, we've made significant progress. Twice in the last 10 years, we've had the largest tax cut in Mississippi passed. We've cut taxes over $1 billion during my tenure as Lieutenant Governor and Governor, and I'm extremely proud of that fact. In fact, if you look today in America, there are 9 states that have no income tax, and of the 41 states that have an income tax, Mississippi currently has the 5th lowest. So that's the good news. The bad news, and certainly speaking to many of the folks that are watching today, the not so good news is even though we have the 5th lowest, we have to compete with states like Tennessee to our north, states like Texas to our west, and Florida to our east, who are amongst those 9 states that have no income tax. That's the reason I am working with our state legislature, leading the charge, pushing to eliminate the income tax, which in effect is just pushing to eliminate the tax on work. We need more people working in our state. We need more people earning more money in our state. And I just believe fundamentally that if you want more of something, the best thing you can do is tax it less. No income tax is our goal, and we're going to continue to fight for that. You know,
the income tax accounts for, I believe, somewhere in the neighborhood of 30% of your revenue. How do you replace that?
Well, actually, we have collected in the last 3 to 4 years, we've been averaging about $1 billion a year more in tax receipts than what our annual operating budget is. So the first thing you do is you right-size government. You are able to eliminate a big portion of the income tax without ever even touching existing spending. But the reality is there is no rule or law which says that we can't go in and cut government is either. And so we want to become more efficient in the way in which we operate our government, and we've shown that we can do that, and we're going to work towards continuing to do that. So it's a combination of different things. And then finally, I'll just mention the third piece of that stool is you grow your economy so as to create more taxpayers that are earning more money, have more money in their pocket, and they go out and they spend it, and so you have more taxes collected through consumption. We've seen significant revenue growth in virtually every year that I have been governor because our economy is growing for some of the same reasons that you highlighted when we led into this segment.
You know, the state is boasting record unemployment, and you're to be congratulated for that. I know you've taken a lot of credit for that as well, but so too has the Biden administration. In fact, the president claims that his policies have driven unemployment down in virtually every state, including Mississippi. How do you respond to that?
Well, I would just tell you that I don't pay very close attention to anything that Joe Biden says. I think he proved during the presidential debate that the best thing that we can do is recognize that he's not running this country, someone else is. But the fact of the matter is, when you look at Mississippi's average unemployment rate compared to the national average, I can recall 15, 20 years ago, we were consistently 150 basis points above the national average. That meant we were 1.5% above the national average was our typical unemployment rate. Today, as you mentioned earlier, we're about 150 basis points below the national average. The national average is at about 4.3%. Mississippi's at about 2.7, 2.8%. So we're performing far better than the nation at large. And the fact of the matter is, when you look at the Biden economic policies, the major problem with the Biden-Harris economic policies is that prices have gone up significantly. Every time someone in the greater Memphis area, and every time someone in Mississippi or Tennessee or anywhere else in America goes to the grocery store and tries to buy bread and milk and feed their families, they know how much more it costs under the policies of the Biden-Harris administration. Every time they go to the gas station and try to fill up their tank with a tank of gas, they know how much more it costs under the Biden-Harris economic policies. Their policies are bad for America. Good, strong conservative policies like we're implementing here in Mississippi, like my friends in Tennessee and Arkansas, Governor Sanders, Governor Lee are implementing in those states, are making a difference for their citizens, contrary to the exact opposite being done by the Biden-Harris administration.
All right, we're running short on time on this segment. I do want to cover one other topic, and that's on the economic front. You got that huge win after Amazon decided to open up shop there in Mississippi. I believe it's a $10 billion investment, if memory serves me correctly. One of the biggest capital investments ever in the state. 6 months in, how is that going now?
It's going phenomenally well. In fact, I just heard earlier today someone who had just a layperson who had just driven by the site and was absolutely amazed at the amount of progress that has been made over the last 6 months. You know, prior to me becoming governor, Mississippi had never announced a project larger than $1.2 billion in new capital investments. From October of 2022 to January of 2024, over a 15-month period, we announced not one, not two, but 3 projects in our state, over $2 billion. Certainly including AWS here in central Mississippi, but also the Amplify project that's happening in Marshall County, not very far from where your station is located, literally within 15 or 20 miles. And so we've got a lot of good things going on in every region of our state. Success begets success. It's an exciting time to be a Mississippian. It's really fun to be in economic development right now.
All right, still a lot more to cover on that particular topic, but there's so much more we want to get to as well, because when we come back, the Magnolia State is seeing significant positive change when it comes to education. And while many are celebrating, some warn not so fast. That's next on Informed Sources.